It's safe to say that over the Christmas period, I've been busy. Yes, this location is a little bit different to the swampy village you last saw. I've had a great time over the festive period just playing and just enjoying myself. And this is what I've come up with. It's all very experimental. It's just really just trying different blocks. New palettes are available with all the extra blocks. So they've got twigs, which gives us loads of extra vanilla variations. I think we've got the chipped. You can see McCaw's roofs. You've got bakery. Oh, that's that sign. Rechiseled. Where else? The chipped is in here somewhere. I'm not sure if I've actually used it for this building here. But it just gives me options, lots of options. I love these bricks here. They're all very, every block is different when you place it. They connect together, and it's just not all the same red bricks the whole time, which is cool. It's getting dark. I'm going to sleep, and then I'll take you on a super fast base tour. This is the start of a front of our station, our railway station. This is a bridge that is yet to be completed. This is where the rail will run. I've not decided what gauge of railway I'm going to use. This is the standard create train track. This is the wide train track, and this is the narrow train track. I'm pretty sure I won't be using this one. It's really a toss-up between these two here. I really like the fact that with this wide one, it looks very, very big, but it does mean we can have 5-block wide trains, which will give us a lot more scope for creativity on that, as opposed to the, what is this, 3-block wide on the standard track. We have a silicon production factory. The silicon, for those not aware, is something in Applied Energetics 2 that is the base for all processing chips that you make. All the processors that you make need silicon and allow us to do all of the fancy advanced AE2 stuff further down the line. And this is it, really, nice and simple. This here blast furnace, it takes all through the magic of export buses that are filtered. It takes Certus quartz dust using a bit of coal, again, from the system, and it outputs some lovely silicon. That silicon then needs printing into silicon presses, using silicon presses, which are basically molds, and in an inscriber. And so you take the press, you put some silicon in, and then it outputs what are they called? Printed silicon, which is, as I said, the base for all processors that you make for AE2. Also, some extra power here, because these vibration chambers, which are basically AE2's version of furnaces, are really not enough power-wise, and so I've used mechanism to surrounded by lava. We have a heat generator, which is in there behind the lava, but it's completely surrounded by it, which means it's got lots of heat, and it sends it through this cable and then uses a energy acceptor to change it from forge energy to AE2. AE energy, I should say. Oh, yes, of course, the Certus quartz dust that blast furnace is cooking comes from here. Every time you hear a ding, we are producing some quartz dust. There we go. Thought that wasn't going to happen as I was recording. Next on the street, we have On the Rocks, which is hosted by none other than Impulse himself, who's just looking pensively into the distance, staring out of the window, perhaps, at this beautiful view that it's turned into. But he's the host of On the Rocks. None of these shops have roofs, unfortunately. I'm not sure how high I'm going to build them, so I've left that unroofed for now. But we have chipped tables for various different masons' workbenches, anything to do with rocks, basically. And also we have a furnace inside an Easy Villager trading block. We get this new profession, the miner, which gives you all sorts of stuff. So it's useful if we need some diorite, granite, or andesite. Oh, and each of these shops has a crafting terminal to access all of my wonderful AE2 stuff. There is a lot of it. Next on the street, we have flowers stuff, which is hosted by none other than Gem. She is behind there, pointing towards, I don't know, these people, these villagers here, which we have auto trading pearls and experience. They don't really belong in this shop, to be quite honest, but they're there. They're there for now, and they are giving me lots of good stuff experience-wise. More on experience later. Next up, mysterious potions, which is exactly what it says. Potions. We can brew potions in here. We have some lovely decorations. We have an alchemy bench from Chip to make some various different types of blocks. Think of it as a stone cutter, but for certain magical blocks, I would say. Did your nose just move? Here we go, it moved. Well, this villager is actually blocking the host of here, which is Jevin. The villager seems to want to get involved, so I will leave you to. Next up, in this tower that was part of the original build, it's pretty much the same. I've taken off this central pillar that was here, and we now have a discount breeder. I had a very manual version in the witch village, but now we have, if I could actually get out the ramp, we have a vertical column starting off with a breeder and then an incubator to turn babies into adults, and then 5 zombie converters, and eventually when it gets to the bottom we have villagers that are fully converted 5 times and maximum discounts are applied. So we've got absolutely loads of villagers with maximum discounts at the moment that we're not using because they're all sent off to the storage system in AE2. It's turned off at the moment. We have a wireless link that actually enables the bread to go to the breeder up the top, which turns the whole thing back on. Over here we have the brain of the facility. We have the AE2 controller core, if you like, and these dense cables here. 32. All 32 channels are in use from that one controller block up there. This actually goes under the ground, under there, and all along that row of shops, and allows us to connect everything together. The same will happen over here. This pink dense cabling will do the same, just in the air, not underground, and will go that way for that side of the water when we eventually start the build down there. We've got a bit of create action going on. I've got some water wheels, which are actually the main reason for them. There's 2 things we have. We have a press here, which I'm using to make some plates. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. And also we have a item drain and a disenchanter. They're both up there, which means that we've managed to fill up all of our bottles of enchanting and experience nuggets into liquid form, and we have this tank here which is slowly filling up with liquid experience. I think, to be honest, it looks like there's nothing getting flushed through the pipes into here, so I think I've probably emptied all of those items. Where are we getting those items from? Where are we getting the experience nuggets from? Well, let me show you. Just below the service underground we have a blaze spawner using the same farm design that I used in the Prominence series, the last series that I did. It works pretty well. The spawner just sends them onto the conveyor belts. They lower down. They get funneled into this little death trap here. And then down here we have some deployers who are attacking whatever is in front of them. And hopefully this guy will demonstrate. Can you come down and get hit by some swords, please? No, it's rebelling, that one. Oh, here he is. Here he is. Right. The encased fan should blow towards there. And then he'll get a whack with the sword. And then, of course, as with everything else, all of the drops come into here and do go into the barrel and then get taken into AE2 storage. So we've got nearly 1,000 blaze rods now. And experience nuggets, I think, have all been emptied. So do I have any nuggets? Here we go. We've got 1, 2. So they'll go into there, and then as soon as they hit the system, they will be taken out of the system. If I can do it, if I can run quick enough. Can you see the pipes in the distance? There we go. It's the experience getting emptied from those items and put into the tank. The absolute finishing touch is if I need experience, I can go into this little nondescript muddy hut, close the door for privacy, and then take an experience shower. I'm trying to ignore the fact it looks radioactive. Yeah, look at that. Look at them numbers going up at the bottom of the screen. So, that's the tour done. It was not as quick as I'd hoped, but yeah, there's been a lot of work going on. I deliberately did not press record over Christmas and just built, just had fun, just played. The question is, what now? Well, I think next up, quite predictably, is going to have to be Railway. I can't resist it. I really can't resist it anymore. Let's do it. Well, we're going to go wide rail, which looks pretty big, but will give us some cool looking trains that we can make 5 blocks wide. And yeah, we need to do an extra manufacturing step. So we need to obviously get hold of the original train tracks, and then we need to do another step to get them. So let me just have a quick look. So it looks like to get the wide train track, we need standard train track, put it through a saw. We need to poke it with a slab of some sort. It looks like stone is actually acceptable. I don't want to waste precious andesite. And then give it a whack with a press. And then we have wide train track. So in terms of manufacturing a train track to start with, I have a trader that can give me that. Can't remember if I've mentioned this in a previous episode, but let me show you. We didn't have one set up for him, so I'm just going to pop an auto trader block in here with a rail manager, a block to give him the occupation that he already had, and all I want is a stack of track. I don't think so. There's train casing and drug stuff. Yeah, we've got broken bad bottom here, which we've not quite tried yet. Well, I haven't anyway. That could be interesting. So we want a stack of track, which we then put in a crafting table to get track. I'm going to pop that in there. It will start auto trading. So we will pop a barrel in there, a crystal barrel, which just looks weird on shaders. And all of... Oh, it doesn't stack. Okay, it doesn't stack at all. That is annoying. But never mind, we'll pop that in there. He will trade away until those coins, special coins, run out. Why not emeralds? It'd be so much easier. But I can't complain. I get a fair amount of these. So if you take this to a crafting table, I get 8 track. So it's not quite a stack of track. I guess I could probably automate that at some point. But yeah, 8 track for each of those. So that should be plenty. So I don't think I need to make track, is what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded way. I then need to set up a production line, a create production line to convert standard track into wide track. So we shall do that probably over this bridge on this area over here. It'll just be a temporary thing, I think, until I find a permanent home. I think this area here would be a good place to do that. I'm hoping 5 water wheels will do. So I'll just add a water source up the top here. What we're doing. Oops. I reckon if I just add a water source to every second wheel, we should have some decent space. So it's maximum stress units. Because they're small, they go quite fast, so we shouldn't have to do too many cog type manipulations, or just block that there to keep it looking tidy. You really can't see the water very well in this shader pack. Oh, trust it to rain in the swamp. I'm trying to do a recording. Okay, either way, we have power. So let's clear all this out of the way, and we'll start to look at some... I think soaring was the first thing that we needed to do. So that's... we'll put that along here. So we're going to need a belt, and belt, hopefully that will Oh, that's of course going the wrong way. So we'll need to gearbox that to change the direction of the turn. And then it's also going very slowly. So I will probably cog it as well. Let's have a look. Do I have wood? We'll create a couple of, say, 3 large cogs. Start with that. For those who don't know what I'm doing, all I'm doing is speeding it up by going from a small cog to a large cog. And then we can do the same again for even more speed. You can see how faster that is turning now. So I'll pop that. No, that won't work. We'll pop some casing on that one, so we can actually then put that in there. We have a very, very fast wheel that is unfortunately turning in the wrong direction. Still, all good fun with grain. Okay, we need a gearbox, which means I need to go back. We'll pop a gearbox on there, and then we should have conveyor belt in the proper direction. Excellent. Barrel there, and then a funnel, just an andesite funnel. So this is one that will just output anything from the adjacent inventory. Just to check this is working, let's pop some track in there. There we go, out it comes. So we need to actually saw this track. Not like that, we won't. Go on. There we go. Okay. I'm never any good at that sort of thing. Unfortunately, realignment. There we go. We've got a saw. So, just to test this out, this should turn that into an incomplete wide andesite track. Okay. Which then needs, if I remind myself of the process, next deploy stone slab. Oh, it tells you down there. I'm pointing at a screen. That's not going to help you. So we'll get a depot and a deployer there. And we're going to need a vertical gearbox. Is that possible? Yes, it is. And in fact, we're going to need 2. And a shaft to connect that up. So we're poking away, or deploying away, I should say. And we need to deploy andesite slabs, which means another barrel top. If I can get up there without sawing myself. Go. So I will manually do this for now. Andesite slabs. I really could have just used stone, but no. Okay. That will do for now. It just need to set the filter. So use andesite slab. So if I pop that in there, it's done something. 1 incomplete wide andesite track. Okay, what's next now? Process in press. So I'm going to assume that I won't need a base. I'm going to need another depot. Easy now. What are you trying to do to yourself? I would leave it alone if I were you. Get back to your crops. Yes, better. Okay. I should now be able. We are. What? Have you got a death wish or something? Really not very clever, are they? Okay, so I'm guessing I can just put this right next to here without a conveyor belt. I need a mechanical press, which needs to be. Silly boy. Oh well, you won't be doing that again, will you? Create utilities allows me to create a gear cube, which is basically an all-in-one gearbox. Which, as you can imagine, is very handy. You don't need to worry about vertical and horizontal. A lot less faffing that way. So that's... Yep, that's turning. So we have a whacker. Sorry, a press. If I were to put this track in there now, we have wide underside train track. So we could connect this up. I mean, the pink pipe over there is the closest that my AE2 inventory is. It's a fair way away at the moment. It's going to take a little while to get that built over here. There's a lot of crafting that goes into that. So for now, I am just going to pop all of the track in there. That should then hopefully outputs into here. And then why is it not going into the next? Why is it not going to the whacker? Okay, I guess I need to build another conveyor belt. That's a pain. I do need a brass funnel here because it is actually filtering the items before I get wax, as you can see in there. So I just need to create a list. Okay, so it'll only accept complete train tracks. Pop that in there. That acts as a filter. So in theory, an incomplete train track should not go in until it's whacked. It is whacked. It goes in there. Excellent. The only thing to think about is to worry about is why on earth this depot is not releasing onto the conveyor belt once it's been deployed. Okay, a little bit embarrassing, but that depot was not necessary. The deployer actually works better on a conveyor belt. Works fine on a depot, but a depot is much more of a manual thing. In terms of this setup, a conveyor belt is absolutely fine once it comes off of the saw. So yeah, quite simply, we cut the normal tracks that we've got. We in the saw we deploy an andesite slab or a stone slab, so I can just fill that up there, and then it gets whacked in the press, and we are starting to build an assembly line. We have built an assembly line of wide train track. So I'm going to have to let that run and fill it up as much as possible. So I've got 2 barrels worth here. I can go and get much more track. As you can see here, I had some problems with getting this right, but that will run there through nicely. We'll have lots of train tracks so that the railway line can start construction. I'll give you an update on that in the next episode. And if it wasn't for the fact that this guy sells stacks of track that aren't actually track, then we could automate the whole end-to-end thing with an automatic trader. But there is hope, because in AE2, even before vanilla Minecraft brings it out, we have auto crafting options. So I can actually automate completely end-to-end, so we can get stone generation, we can then slab it and put it down there, and we can also get the track here from this guy. We can then convert it into normal track here through AE2 auto crafting, which can then feed into that system. And we're going to need a lot of track because this is a big world. To give you an idea of the scale, so Lovejoy is over there, which is... How far away is that? It's about... In fact, I should be able to look at the... Where are you, Lovejoy? There he is, over there. Lovejoy's land is about 1,500 blocks away. So, Sandy, however, much closer, 500 blocks away. They're not too bad. Both of those are fine. However, our mate Deosil is almost 4,000 blocks away. And he's not just 4,000 blocks away, he's in the sky as well. He's also got a giant aquarium in his base, which he hasn't yet found because he's still on holiday. But he should be back, I believe, very soon. So I think this is going to be enough for today. Been a lot of progress. We'll get building our proper railway network soon next time. And also the station behind me. We're going to need to have a grand entrance to this city as it goes up. In terms of the city itself, just to let you know, yeah, I still got this Venice idea, this kind of cyberpunk Venice idea. And hopefully, the sort of the constructions around me give you a rough idea of the sort of thing I'm going for. So it won't look like actual Venice that we know now. It's going to be aged in terms of a city. It's going to be dystopian. It's going to be vertical in terms of everything. I'm not going to go out particularly far footprint wise. I am going to go up. That's the plan. And it's all going to be hopefully pretty cool. It's an aesthetic, a build style, a build palette that I've never touched before. And that's why I'm so excited. So you take care, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode.